Evening, everybody. As the evening baseball has started, um, Indians dropped the first game of the doubleheader this afternoon. Get ready to play the Royals right now. That is big games in the American League. I see old boy hit 50 and 51 over the weekend as New York is celebrating that. But we got big series tomorrow night, Mets in Arizona. Padres are in St. Louis tonight. As behind me, the Phillies and Astros about to get started. But I tell you, give the Astros some credit. Their schedule has been murder. Whoever is the schedule maker in MLB this year, kudos to that person or that group of people. Kudos. Because the schedules they have made, and this is the second year everybody plays everybody, they did a hell of a job. Probably the Yankees gonna get a cakewalk, as they always do. Orioles pitching is banged up. They'll be in LA tomorrow night. Dodgers and Orioles for 3. Mets are at Arizona tomorrow night against the Sizzling Snakes out in the desert. So those are some of the things going on in MLB. All right, let's get to it. Jim Harbaugh. Oh, before I do, CD Lamb got paid today. That has uh, Cowboy Nation all fired up. Man. Was I surprised they signed him? Yeah. To that money? No. I think Lamb is a very good receiver, folks. But he is not in the same world as Devontae Adams, uh, Tyreek Hill, and Mike Evans. It's not. Mike Evans, those 3 players that just named, folks, they already got their gold jackets fitted for them in Kent. Mike Evans is a lock. 10 years, excellent consistency. He'll get 100 touchdowns this year easy. And that's the league right now. So he signs. Jamar Chase came back today. Good for the Bengals, but now that the Bengals know how much the Cowboys paid Lamb, Mike Brown got a lot to think about. Mike Brown got a lot on his hands. T. Higgins is gone after this. That's why I get the Bengals last night. And what I said about them was as honest as you can be. They'll either get it done this year or they won't. Plain and simple. And what I mean by get it done is that Mr. Brown is holding the Lombardi Trophy on February the 7th. Joe Burrow going back down to Louisiana. All right, Bobby Wicks Jr. is up 3-1, man on second, nobody out. All right, Bobby Wick Jr. walks. What I was gonna say, uh, yeah. So the Bengals got the gun to their head. They either gonna get it done, go all the way. Joe Burrow holds that trophy up in New Orleans, or you'll have a whole new, different looking Bengal offense next year. All right, let's get to it. Jimmy Harbaugh is back in the NFL. Yep, Jimbo is back, and he has put the A.F.C. on notice. This week we're going to focus more on the coaches who we're doing the team's preview. Tomorrow is his brother. Wednesday is Sean McVay. We'll give him a lot of praise Wednesday night, his brilliance and excellence. Then Thursday we'll do Sean Payton and Bo Nix together. Off Friday, be back Saturday morning for college football. Saturday, be back Saturday morning for that. Cannot wait for that. Looking forward to that. Next Friday night, we start the new NFL. Yo, you at work or you home? Let me know what's up. I'm good, man. I'm always good, bro. You know that. You hear my voice? I'm up here. I'm good, baby, bro. Hope everything is okay with you, man. How are you doing? Oh, okay. I got you. I don't think he's little anymore, bro. You got him playing football yet? Let me know. You got him playing football yet? I feel you, man. And for you, let me do Harbaugh. Then I'm throwing some Dolphins just for you, okay? Just for you. There we go. Big money, Sean the building, everybody. All right, we'll do this. We're working on the basics like catching the football and not being scared of it. Okay, I feel you, man. He's getting better though. There you go. You live in South Florida. You better believe your son, any father wants his son to play football and dominate in football. Do you think? Do your thing, bro. It's your show. I'm just here to support. I love you, man. Appreciate you as always. All right, let's get to Harbaugh. And like I said before about this man, he's going to bring an element that you don't see anymore. Pittsburgh's trying to go back this way because the quarterbacks are inept, and they're going to power football. I love you too, bro. You know that. I love you too, baby, bro. No doubt about it. The Chargers are doing something that is rare in professional sports, and that is he is taking the ball out of Justin Herbert's hands. And you haven't noticed lately in fantasy football ratings, Justin Herbert has plummeted because everybody knows Jim Harbaugh's style. Jim Harbaugh is, I'll meet you in the alley, bring your boys, I'll bring my boys, and we'll see who wins the gang fight. And that's the Chargers, folks. That's the way they play. That's the way they're going to play. Do I see Super Bowl with this team? Not this year. But the one thing you will see about this team, folks, they're going to punch you in the face. They're going to do everything Dan Campbell said 4 years ago that everybody was laughing at. Their defense is there to a point. It's going to carry them this year, I'll tell you that. The running game is the most important thing. They have no wide receivers anymore. Jim got rid of them. And when you hear about how much people are cooled off on this, because they got no wide receivers in the 21st century, people want to know who you got. That's why Green Bay slept on, because nobody know who the wide receivers are, because they don't know who Love is going to throw to. And if Love has his way, every one of his receivers will have 8 touchdowns, and his tight ends, and no one will have 1,000 yards. Packers will love that. Don't have to pay him a lot. And he'll be somebody fool's gold. But right now, San Diego or LA, who knows who these kids are? We haven't seen Herbert on the field. But I will tell you this. You see Jim Harbaugh's fingerprints all over this. And to me, that's very dangerous. I think this team is a year away from really stomping on people. I think this year the Chargers will be the type of team that they'll let people know that they are there. They'll bloody some teams. And of the mindset of Justin Herbert, that he doesn't have to carry the load. I like that philosophy, by the way. And offensively, the line is very good. You can bet Jim Harbaugh is taking a real running back next year with the second round pick. First round pick is taking another lineman because that's Jim's way of thinking. I got the Chargers at, believe it or not, I got them at 9-8, 10-7. I think Harbaugh and his kids put a big foot down on everybody and let people know they're back. I like Jimmy. You know that. I love his philosophy of power football. And I think the Chargers will let people know that they're here. All right, we'll go to Miami real quick because Sean is listening. They're talking about, I was listening to Chris Perkins yesterday, and he's telling fans that some of these rookies are good but not great, like some media people hype them up to be. And that, well, one thing you will see in Miami this year, according to Chris Perkins, is this is a team that can easily be ran. And if that's the case, it's the same old song with this team. I keep saying this. That's why you don't see me going to these fanboy rooms talking lies and fantasies, which they all do. Me, I just tell what it is around the league. I don't care about being a homer. I love football. I love following the sport. And if that's the case in Miami, I don't know what to say. Thank God I did the Dolphins early August, got them out of the way when I made my predictions. I think it's going to be interesting in Miami this year because nobody knows. Matthew Berry last night on Football Night in America totally dismissed him. You look at a lot of these football people totally dismissed him. And I'll say it again, until they win a playoff game and beat some good teams, they are going to be dismissed. And you listen to some of the Miami media, they blame it on injuries. Well, everybody gets hurt. And for those who missed that show, I got Miami going 11-6 and winning the division. But winning a playoff game, let's hope so for them and their fans' psyche. Because going on 25 years of no playoff wins, nobody really don't want to hear from you if you go 25 years without a playoff win. Okay. Let's go around the A.F.C. since we're up here. Um, a lot of people love Houston to dethrone the Chiefs. I think they have an opportunity, but like old boy said last night, um, Jason Garrett, it may be a lot of expectations on these kids to win. Plus, quarterback wise, Richardson. Before, let me do Houston. I'm going to kill Richardson in a second. Uh, Houston, I think, will be as good as advertised. It's like I said the other day. I was talking about this. The difference between Jordan Love and uh, C.J. Stroud is C.J. Stroud is one of the guys. I've never seen a quarterback in years walk into a huddle and have supreme control and leadership in the huddle like him. While Jordan Love, on the other hand, is about Jordan Love. He's about his skills. He loves showing off his talent, and he lets everybody know it. But the one thing about Jordan Love, why his teammates love him, and this is the most important thing, he's at the facility at 3:45 in the morning, don't leave till 9:30 at night. He's at the facility for 17 hours a goddamn day. And that's why his teammates love him. Love, let me put it to you this way. Love is what you will call a goofball, a nerd. He doesn't know anything better. He hit a grand slam with his fiancee. If you see her, you go, yeah. 9 years with her, and he did the things he had to do to make his future bride happy. That's what you do. While C.J. Stroud's hanging out at what's old boy's name? Michael Rubin's white parties at the Hamptons. Heading out, bro. I'm about to go to sleep. I have a headache. Have a great show, family. You too, man. I love you, Sean. You too, bro. Big Money Sean. Sleep well, bro. I don't know what I be about that young man, folks. For a guy like Sean, folks, I really want the Dolphins to win a playoff game. Just to let young guys like him experience it. He deserves that. He really does. Guys who don't deserve it is the fanboy group. But I ain't gonna get into that right now. Back to Jordan Love and oh boy, C.J. Stroud. Stroud is the consummate guy you're gonna run for a war for. While Love is the guy that's gonna get you where you want to go. Why do you say that? Why do I say that? It's easy. It's right there for you. You know, he loses to Frisco. It's still bothering him that he lost to Frisco. And that whole franchise and fan base can't wait for November 24th when Frisco gets to town. But like I always say, don't wish what you ask for. Because until you beat them, it's all rhetoric. All rhetoric. Okay? All right, let's go back to A.F.C. Houston looks real good. To me, ain't too many teams, folks. They're good teams, but there are teams where you say, are they really going to beat the Chiefs? You know, you look at Buffalo, Miami. Do you really think they're going to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs? The answer is no. Just look at them and the answer is no. Pittsburgh, no. Bengals, yes. Browns, depends on where they're at December the 15th. And that is a big NFL day. The Browns, that day is 9-4. Oh, we're going to have a great one in Cleveland. With the Chiefs going to balmy Lake Erie. If they're not, then they're the Browns. Ravens, hells no, they're not going to beat the Chiefs. They may beat them next Thursday night in 10 days, yeah, regular season, but when it comes to the real game, no. Playoffs, Houston, yes, they have a chance. Because they have something Indianapolis doesn't have, which leads me to Indianapolis. I'm going to say it right now. This Anthony Richardson's full of shit. I've seen enough. I've seen enough. I've seen enough. He's full of shit. I'm looking at this kid and I'm like saying, you know, I have to change my opening day, first game of the year, first Sunday of the year, because this kid looks so inept. By the way, that's my game I'm going to take. That's my third game. I'm going to take the Texans minus 1.5. That is a layup. With this kid at quarterback, that's a layup. So those are my three games. Texans minus 1.5 at Indianapolis. Eagles 1.5 against the Packers, and Cleveland plus 2 against the Dallas Cowboys. Those are my three plays for week 1. Those are my three plays for week 1. All right, I'm looking at this kid and I'm like, come on, man. Is this the best you really have after 7 Eastern time on the East? Come on. Really? I'll make a bet right now. Will Levis will have a better year than Anthony. Boy, you talking about a team, by the way, a franchise that has joined the 21st century. We'll see them week 3 up here in Nashville against the Packers. Let's talk about that. Let me see something in the NFL schedule. Week 1 is either going to be green. It's no, excuse me. It's either the first Sunday. It's either going to be Arizona and Buffalo up here. Let you know right now. Everybody's celebrating CD Lamb. I'm not joking about that. I'm on the NFL website right now celebrating CD Lamb got his money. Right, Indians up 3-1 on the Royals. Pre-game show in here next Sunday starts at 11:30. Can't wait to do it. Steelers and Eagles, nah. Cardinals and Bills is one of them. Tennessee and the Bears, thinking about it. No way I'm doing Bengals and New England. I'm not even touching that. Jaguars at the Dolphins, no. Giants, Vikings, no. We'll play it by ear. We'll play it by ear for week 1. There's no late game week 1, just to let you know. Two weeks from Thursday, we'll be in Miami for Buffalo and the Dolphins. We'll be on there at 7:15 Eastern Time for the pregame down in South Florida. All right, this is week 2 early games. Right now, we're looking at maybe Buccaneers and the Lions. Cleveland at Jacksonville. Seattle at New England. What else we got? We'll be in Denver, by the way, week 2 now that it's looking more and more that Russell Wilson may be the starter in Pittsburgh. Yeah, we'll just give you Broncos and Steelers week 2. So week 1 will make the decision by next Wednesday. Week 2 will be Broncos and Steelers. Russell Wilson goes back to the Rocky High to take on Bo Nix and Sean Payton. And then week 3 will be our first doubleheader week. We'll be in Nashville to see the Packers and the Titans, and then after that, we'll be in LA for the Rams and Niners. And then week 4, I'm off. Week 4, I'll be on that Monday night, 6:30 Eastern time rematch, Titans and Dolphins. So 3 of our first 4 weeks will be solo games. And week 4 will be on Monday night. Do the Dolphins and the Titans. So, by the way, pregame show for week 2. Week 2 pregame show will start at 4 o'clock. So we'll be on here at 4 o'clock, go around the league, and then we'll be in Denver for the Broncos and the Steelers. So get ready for that. Week 5 will be in Houston. Will be our second doubleheader week. We'll be in Houston. Texans and Bills. Stephon Diggs sticking it to Sean McDermott. And then our late game, which I think is going to be, if both players are healthy, you may see one of the best talented displays in the history of the sport. When young Jordan Love goes to LA or go home, take on Matthew Stafford and the Rams. That'll be our late game, week 5. So right now, there goes the month. We'll know by, matter of fact, I'll let you know now. We will know by next Friday after the game in Brazil, where we'll be at next Sunday for opening day. So, we're getting it together, and I cannot wait. And it should be a lot of fun. College football Saturday. Gainesville on Saturday. I'll start the show at 10:30. Let everybody know that we got college football on the docket. Hurricanes in Florida. We're gonna see a lot. We're gonna see a lot of Oregon up here, folks. I think Oregon with Georgia, the 2 best teams. And we'll see what happens in the college football bowl system. They was talking about today, and I was laughing my ass off. It was John Middlecoff, who usually Big John is a guy who I really, really enjoyed listening to. He was a former scout for the Eagles. The guy knows his stuff. He's in tune with the NFL. And I was thinking about what he said today, him and his guest, talking about all these teams get into the playoffs. That's not going to happen, folks. I'm telling you right now. 9-win Wisconsin's getting it. Okay. God forbid 10-win Nebraska is getting in. 9-win Ole Miss is getting in. And I'm going to tell you why. It's the brand of your league or your team. Ole Miss goes 9-3. That is legit 9-3. They're going to get in, folks. The difference between this year and past years was that the Wisconsins, the Penn States, they couldn't get in. Now they're going to get in. Like I said, the Big Ten, I easily see 5 getting in. And I'm not even counting Michigan. Because we don't know who Michigan is. I got Wisconsin, I got Penn State, Ohio State. Oregon. And they'll find a 15. The SEC, I got Missouri, Ole Miss, Bama, Texas, Georgia. They're all getting it, folks. I don't want to hear none of that bullshit about a wild team. No, that's not happening in this. People don't want to be bored with nondescript programs. As far as the Miami Hurricanes go, you better beat Florida on Saturday. You come in with all that swag and you're going home Saturday evening with another L. You got 2 more strikes against you before you're out. That's an example of what I'm talking about. This system is different, folks. This is not the same old days of, well, we'll take 2 from here, we'll take 2 from there. No. Notre Dame is always the wild card in this. If they win 9, 10 games, they're definitely in. So college football basically is going to be ran by 2 conferences. No one cares about the ACC unless it's Clemson. And no one cares about the Big 12. I mean, people ain't staying up 11:30 at night to watch Utah or Brigham Young. No one's going to do it. Now, if Dion miraculously uh, gives us something to seriously cheer about, they'll get in. Because Dion brings a lot of brothers and sisters to the set. Other than Dion in the Big 12, the guys are telling me about Utah. Let me take a look at that piece of shit conference. Where is it? Let's take a look at this piece of shit conference. All right, this is the Big 12. Arizona State, Arizona, BYU, Baylor, All right, you got the Bearcats in there. You got Colorado in there. You got Houston in there. But here's the problem. I don't see a team, including you, Okie State. I don't see a team in this league that's going to win 12. It's going to go undefeated. I don't see a team that's going to go undefeated in the Big 12. So, while the ACC, let's look at them. BC, Cal, who the hell knows what Clemson is? Duke, Florida State already lost to Georgia Tech in Ireland. So already the death march is already there for the Seminoles. Georgia Tech beats Miami. They're in good shape. That's coming up in a couple of weeks, by the way. Louisville's alright, but people ain't gonna rush the sets to go watch Louisville, NC State, Pitt, SMU, Stanford, Syracuse, North Carolina, Virginia, Tech, Wake Forest. That's the problem with this league. Then you got Miami. And Miami's first couple of games, folks, after Florida, are real cream puffs. Let's take a look at Miami. Thursday night, Murray State is at Mizzou. Elle Duncan, by the way, what a great job she's doing for college football. All right, let's take a look at the Miami schedule. At Florida. Okay. Then A&M, Florida A&M, Ball State, USF, Virginia Tech, Cal. They should run the early part of their schedule. Easy. If they beat Florida, they should run. They should start off 6-0. Yeah. Now, when from October 19th to November 9th, at Louisville, Florida State, Duke, at Georgia Tech, and then they finish with Wake Forest, and Syracuse. If they win, they start off 6-0 and beat at Louisville. Oh, let me put it in a different way. If they split with Louisville and Florida State, which is very doable, then get their revenge on Georgia Tech, they're going to make the playoffs. That gives them, let me see, 6-0, 10, 12. Gives them a 10-2 record. Hurricanes will make the playoffs. So, college football, you got to sniff at what these guys are doing. You turn around. Indians up 3-2 in the third. Phillies and Astros, no score. Yordan Alvarez is up. Man on first went out. See what happens here. Right, Alvarez walks. All right, something fluky that's happened in Cleveland. Give me a sec, I'll be right back with you. Indians man on first, nobody. Man on first, 2 outs. Orioles Dodgers tomorrow. Arizona hosting the Mets tomorrow. All right, Penny is up with 2 outs for the Astros and 2 men on. Bregman's on second. Alvarez on first. Remember, this is a rematch of the World Series 2 years ago. All right, 0-2 to Jeremy Pena. Then we'll get back to some football. Stephen A. Smith completely snapped last week with Russell Wilson's little prissy attitude. See what happens here. All right, Pena flies out. No score from Philadelphia. Tell you, Philadelphia fans, we wonder about them. It's really good. Let's go around the league. The Yankees at Washington, who cares? Braves are at Minnesota. All these games starting at 20 to 8 Eastern time. Padres are in St. Louis. Boy, you talk about a franchise that has really fallen off the face of the earth. St. Louis Cardinals. Tampa Bay is at Seattle. I'll be asleep. Tomorrow we're going to do the Ravens. So let me put it up here right now. As we're going to close out tonight with a couple of other things. All right, that was last night. Let me see something real quick. Speaking of that, they updated the fantasy rankings, and Bijan Robinson, who at one time was number 7, is now number 3. And Bryce Hall, who was always 4 or 5, is now number 2. So in other words, when you do the draft this weekend, that your fantasy football league draft, the first 3 picks are going to be running back. You know what that means? You're going to have a lot of good 1-2 offensive combinations at wide receiver. Now, here's my advice. If you pick 2 receivers early, go ahead, run the gamut, and pick a 3rd and a 4th, because then you will have a quadrant of 4 of the best receivers in the league, all number 1 receivers. We'll be talking about this man, Lamar Jackson, at this time tomorrow night, 6:35 Eastern. Cannot wait to talk about Lamar. John Harbaugh smiling in the thumbnail. Let me see something about the Harbaugh brothers. I know they play each other this year on Sunday Night Football. Tomorrow's the Ravens. Wednesday, we'll show all the love to Sean McVay. Thursday, Sean Payton and Bo Nix. And then next week, college football Saturday, Hurricanes and the Gators. The next Friday night, we'll all be in Sao Paulo, 7:15 Eastern Time. We'll do the last two teams of my previews in the pregame show that night. And I think one of them is going to shock all of you. Matter of fact, they may both surprise all of you. All right, Lamb got paid, so he's happy. All right, I'm not going to listen to this. Like I said, I do not like bullshit trade ideas. I like it when it's legit and everybody's talking about it. Ah, all right. I guess John Harbaugh and the whole family is going to be in LA for Thanksgiving because the Monday night of Thanksgiving Day, which means the eve of Thanksgiving, that Monday night, it will be Ravens at Chargers. So the family will spend a beautiful Thanksgiving in Southern California. Everybody's celebrating the Cowboys giving CeeDee Lamb this money. I don't know what the big deal is. I mean, you knew Dallas was going to pay him. So Dallas got that done. Giants are a grease fire. Redskins, everybody's excited about young Jaden Daniels. I'm I'm putting my chips in on Philly this year. And Jalen Hurts is my MVP. I think the Packers are a year away. And I think Detroit, if they don't do it this year, I'm dead serious about to say, then their window's going to close quick because next year, what Green Bay got coming, it's going to be tough to beat Green Bay next year. I'm talking about the whole league. With that arsenal that Love has. And like I said, the difference between, I was talking about this earlier, the difference between him and CJ Stroud is CJ Stroud If you want to put in a better word, C.J. Stroud's one of the brothers. He's one of the guys. Jordan Love, unless you're talking football 24/7, he don't want to be bothered. Why you think? Why do you think Chase Daniel loves him so much? Because he could talk football to your ears blow off. Speaking of that, Tom Brady killing today's quarterbacks. What else is new? Let's see. All right, let me end it with this. I'm going to go off the air. From Magic Johnson, if you did not hear this, and when I do a big NBA show, I'm going to talk about this. In the NBA, Bill Russell said something many years ago that there is an exclusive room that the best players, the best champions go into. And we just call it the room. And before I get to the room, let me say what Magic Johnson said, which he is so correct. And Stephen A. Smith reported that he spoke to him. Magic says, quote, I do not acknowledge non-championship players. So in other words, like Anthony Edwards is a nobody to Magic Johnson. This whole joke of the Olympic team is a joke. The way they're looking at their medals, you have Carmelo, that loser, telling everybody last week that gold medals are more important than championship rings. Nigga, you crazy. Nigga, you crazy if you really believe that. That hollow room that Bill Russell was talking about is 5 rings or more. And if you don't got 5 rings, Steph Curry, LeBron, you're not getting in the room. You're not getting in the room. Bird's not even in the room. What did that tell you? Bird is not in the room. It's Kobe, Duncan, Kareem, Horry. That's right, Robin Horry, who had some of the biggest clutch shots, along with Bobby Dandridge in NBA history, and Jerry West. Okay, and West is not even in the room. Okay. Sam Jones, Casey Jones, Tom Hyson, Hondo, of course. Those 3 men I just said, Jones, Casey Jones, Sam Jones, Russell, all with 10 rings. Russell has 11, they have 10. And of course, the great Hondo has 8. That is the room, folks. Those are the all-time greats. And I'm agreeing with Bill Russell, God bless his soul. Kobe Bryant's in the room. A lot of you guys don't cut it, and I don't blame you. I want to thank Big Money Sean, our supporter in the chat in the clouds. We will see you tomorrow night in exactly 23 hours. That man right there, Jim Harbaugh, and the Ravens are the topic, and then we'll do a very terrific show on Sean McVay. We'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. Thanks for being here.